YouTube? Damo_23 here, and welcome to episode 10 of the Youth Only Challenge here with 1860 Munich. In today's episode, we have got a player, an absolute baller, that is joining the club when he turns 18. We scouted Brazil. It cost me my whole scouting budget, but we found Patrick and we've picked him up from Botafogo. I'm pretty sure I do mention how we picked him up, how much he was worth, and how much we actually paid. But I don't think we filmed when he played his debut game for Botafogo. He scores on his debut against men of the match at 16 years of age. I cannot wait for this guy to sign. Also in this episode, we go through what is our Christmas Day, which is the 1st of January. We get all the new signings that we made, throughout last year's and this season's transfer windows that have gone, that turn 18 from the amateur divisions in America, as well as Norway, all those sort of guys. We do also talk about a bit of the transfer plan moving forward and the terms of players we're looking to sign and how many signings and scouting we're actually looking to do. And then at the end of this episode, we will go back to post-com demo. It'll be the first time in a while that I've actually had time to sit down and just talk to you guys about what's going on with the club, the results, and where we're standing in terms of if we're going to get promoted or relegated or, anywhere in between all that. And look, it'll be nice to take stock here at the end of episode 10, quickly run through some results, run through some tactical changes, etc., etc. And I think it's a really nice time to do a little bit of post-com here on my day off after such a busy time at work. If you are enjoying the content, you're doing a youth challenge yourself, or you are just in love with the fact that we are grinding ourselves into oblivion here with this save whilst trying to work, give it a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and as always, guys, the link's down below to the Twitch if you want to ever stay up to date and see all this madness unfold live. Hello YouTube, Damien here. Welcome to episode 10 of the Youth Challenge here with 1860 Munich. And today we start the episode a little different. We're on the game screen. There's only one reason to that. It's the same day that we ended episode 9. This needed to be in its own little episode. We have spent the budget on one player, and I'm about to show you who he is and why we spent the budget. Also in this episode, we are going to go and recap eventually at some stage the rest of the games to the mid-season break. I'm pretty sure we get one after the 17th of December. I will double check that in a second. And of course, if you enjoyed the episode, give it a like, go subscribe. The main reason why we're here, though, is this, and we've spent our budget, our scouting budget, and it hasn't come out yet, but it will, on a heap of Brazilians, because I just had Brazilian intake. Yeah, we just scouted the best ones, but there's one that we didn't scout because there was no need, and we just did it because it was worth it. Patrick is worth $9.8 to $11.5 million at 15 years of age at Botafogo. However, if you offer him an approach thing, which is accepted, it's 550k compensation. It can grow to 1.5 mil, but the fact that he's worth 9.8 to 11 million at 15 years of age kind of means this guy's going to be good. He's coming here with the relegation release fee of 4 mil, a release fee to clubs in the higher division at 7.5 mil. As a squad player, he is going to come in when he turns 18 years of age. Patrick, for the future, is in the van, and I cannot wait to see him, boys. He just looks fantastic. Let's confirm that and go forward today. Here comes Patrick. It comes in 3 years. 2025, we will have Patrick. I know it's a long way down the track, but 90 determination. Those mentals are just going to develop. 8s, 9s, 7s. These worst ones, flair. And when you're probably a more defensively minded midfielder, you don't particularly need flair. So I can live with that. What I love about him, work rate, teamwork. He can pass a football. He's got natural tackling, natural marking. He can take a free kick as well, which is hard to find in a youth intake player. And has got a good first touch. This guy's going to be the definition of a ball-winning midfielder of dreams. He's a bit short at 5'5". Expect him to grow by the time he turns 18 because that's what happens. But the physicals may not look like much now. I'm telling you, we had Lars Elgrade who came through our youth intake at SFB and he had 7s across the board. Every stat of physical got to 15. Physicals grow the most. They grow between the age of 15 and 21. They just go rocketing. So, yeah, and you obviously can work on stuff like I'll work on his pace, so he's everywhere like a little Kante. And then obviously he'll grow in height, so his jumping reach will actually go up. His agility will actually go up. And then eventually he'll get to the stage in probably like 2021 where everything's well-rounded. You work on his strength for a while, and that might get to 11. Like, if his strength gets to 11, that's unreal. It's a 7 growth, that's great. But all those others, if they go up by 7s, pace, acceleration, agility, his natural fitness may get up there, his jumping reach, it's dependent on his height, but his stamina, they're going to get to 15, roughly. This kid could be world class, and I cannot wait to see him in 3 years' time. 550k. Yeah, that's a lot of the money in the budget. I'm not planning on making a signing for the rest of the year because we've got $1 million coming in at the minute. So to see Patrick come on in is fantastic. Feel like the next screen though that is coming in here is going to be the youth intake screen in December, and then we're going to recap the games that have been, where we're sitting. Hopefully we also have the third round of the DFBL Pocket, or the fourth round. I don't know if we started the first or second, but it does not bother me. I can't believe it. I've spent the budget on a player. His name's Patrick. He's Brazilian. He's going to be here in 3 years. But my word, is he going to be world class. Welcome back, YouTube. We've obviously just seen Patrick. It's actually been a couple of days since I've been on because I've been away for work. But now we've come back. It is December and we have our early assessment of our youth intake for this year. As you can see, Manfred Paola, who is our head of youth and someone that actually you get as part of the 1860 Munich starting staff, he's incredible, he's unbelievable, has come out and pulled out a very, very, very good set of intakes. It looks like we have got a goalkeeper yet again. That's a great prospect. So we got Muller last time, and who knows who we're going to get this time. There's apparently an attacking mid that we should keep a very close eye on. I think that wouldn't be bad. We don't currently play with a system of attacking mid, but there's definitely not a, there's a world where if we get enough like central midfielders that are our own and centre defensive mids and centre attacking mids, there's definitely a world where we could definitely go diamond. We know that it works. We used it at Palermo with great success. I wouldn't mind playing the diamond. I had a lot of fun in the diamond, but I don't have the fullbacks for it yet. And we also have a very good set of wingers coming in from America. That I think it would be very hit or miss of me to get a good attacking mid here in this youth intake and move diamond. But if we got a good one, definitely probably train to be a very creative centre mid or wide player, depending on the stats he comes out with. We've apparently also got two strikers, not one but two strikers that could be absolutely fantastic. I think that's great. We've had to go out, we've had to buy. We've got a few coming in from America when they turn a bit older. We've signed so many from in and around, Norway and all the Scandinavian countries because they're just on a free to see if they develop. We need someone that's going to be very consistent up front with Mitchell. But, I would love to have a couple come through my youth intake that we sit on the bench. We stay in this division for a bit. They come on, they grow. And, maybe it comes to a stage that in a few years, Mitchell becomes homegrown, gets a big offer. We sell him on when he's, growing and banging them in. And, we get a couple of these boys come through and they do what they need to do. We've also got apparently some decent centre midfielders and wingers that apparently are coming through as well. And the rest is not great, but it is what it is. I think that's not a bad youth intake. Yet again, it's meant to be a real golden generation. Important to note, I had this question last time my youth intake actually came through on stream. We are currently live on stream. Links down below. Come follow us live on Twitch. But last time I had my youth intake, we had about 6-7 guys. I think that were 5-star potential. Important to note they're being rated against my squad, and the fact that all our squad's got an average age of 18. There's not many older players that have fully grown. That all their potential and current abilities being judged to the current squad. So they all might have 5-star potential, but they might also be all judging to maybe Jeppe Hansen's a decent Bundesliga 2 player. So a lot of the guys that come out, unless they have like that amazing could improve a lot. Reading in their scout report, a lot of them probably are just going to end up being leading Bundesliga 3 players, which is not bad if we stay in this division for 5 years or so. But if we go up any earlier, then they will probably become unusable. But we got some guys that I think that will be really good in our youth intake last year, and I would hope that we get a couple guys that could be really good this year and in this youth intake as well. Welcome back, YouTube. We're on the 1st of January, 2023. And look, it's fast becoming the 1st of Jan, the 1st of July, when players turn 18 and can join us on these pre-contracts. It's an amazing time. It's like Christmas or New Year. Well, it is New Year. Well, there you go. Happy New Year, everybody. But yeah, it's like Christmas Day. It's like you run down the stairs, Christmas presents are there, and I've just unboxed Stefan, who's going to be a starting centre-back for us. It's unreal. It's like that moment. It makes you feel giddy. So we've got 11 players that we have to talk about here, but I do want to start with Happy New Year to everyone in chat. I do want to start with the players that we are also still bringing in, right? So we got 1, 2, potentially 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, potentially 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 more players to bring in. So with my quick math, that's 25 players that we're bringing into the squad, right, over the next 2-year window. I was explaining to the chat sort of agree that we're probably moving into the stage where we're overcrowding our facilities too much, we're overcrowding the team too much. How many of these kids can we look at? How many people we're just bringing in to then throw away? I'm getting to this idea that because we can't scout the whole world, we can't even really scout the whole of Europe without it costing us too much money. That now that I'm getting in a core group of 25, this is my 25-man squad, plus whatever youth intake I get, to work on these players. So we've got people that are coming now 11, we've got people coming in 6 months' time, people coming in a year's time, couple guys coming in 2 years' time that I will show you if I remember at the end of all this as well, because they're newly signed, because America's just had their youth intake and it's so easy to poach from there, that we're going to sign very few people because I want to give this group of players a go. And there's a couple of reasons to that. Firstly, it allows us to really know who these guys are that we're bringing in, because we've all brought them in for a reason. If it's 5-star potential and they were cheap, or if they're going to be an important first team player at the moment they come in, it allows us to know exactly who's good, who's not, who's worth keeping here for 3 years, who's maybe someone we loan out for a couple of years to see if they develop it and sell, all those sort of things. Feel like we're going to keep most players for 3 years and make them homegrown, and then look to loan them out and then sell. But it allows us to really hone down on who's the important core group that we build around in the future. When we can scout the whole of the world, we can go through every under 23 list around the world and go bang. I could set my scouts up in different regions and have a look at what's coming out in different regions. So for me, I think it makes sense for us to really stop scouting too in-depthly and start looking to sign guys, because I could sit here and sign 50, 60, 70 guys and not give any of them a chance, apart from the guys that come in like Stefan that are already good enough to come in. The second reason why we're doing this is money, right? So if you look at our scouting, we're down to 13K already, and it's because I scouted Brazil, and it cost me an arm and a leg. Financially, we've only got 5 million. We make money some months, we lose money some other months. It depends on gate receipts. If we didn't scout and we held these players, it would allow us with prize money if we stay up, which, by the way, at the minute in the league table, we are currently 17th. Look, with all these players coming in, we're going to be better because they're going to run through them. It allows me to just build up a base of money that I can ask maybe the club to go, look, we've got money, let me improve the scouting range. They say yes, we scout the world, and even if it costs us a little bit of money at the initial onset, I've got money in my back pocket until we get to the Bundesliga to scout the whole entire world. And it makes this process of me taking gambles on people like Simon, who isn't particularly great but has 5-star potential, because I've already got an updated scout report. I can go to Colombia, all that as well. Look, it is what it is. Okay. Last point, the reason why it allows me to know exactly who your first team, who not, and where do we need to sign in the future. Because at the minute, the squads are shambles, loans, this, that, whatever, just trying to piece together a squad to stay up, right? I don't have any vision with the squad. If I stop signing players now and I just focus on this core, I will know, all right, Stefan's good enough. Mark will grow into a first team player. Simon's too raw, 2 years down the track. All right, not good enough. Let him stay here another year, then ship him out, right? It allows me to go, exactly, all right, we need a centre back. I've already kind of figured I need a centre back anyway. I think what we need to do here, YouTube, is that we need to give this core group of players a go for the next 2-3 years, and then come back to the scouting table and know exactly what we need. Go target. Okay, we need centre backs because we're lacking centre. All right, go sign 4 centre backs from around the world. Go. Right? All right, we're lacking strikers, which we're definitely not. Then do that too. Your players that are coming in here on the 1st of January 2023 are all these lads. We're just going to go in order. So Stefan's coming in, absolutely unreal centre back to bring in at 18 years of age. He is going to obviously be non-European because USA counts non-European for those that don't know. 6'1", but physically a monster at this age. Needs to do a lot of working on his marking straight off the bat to be really good, but he comes in and is definitely what I would perceive our second best, if not best, centre back, which is huge because we need that because we're shipping goals. Mark Williams also comes in like that. Big shout out to Freeman, he's done really well. Mark's coming in as a regular starter. I'm definitely have lacked that right back. We've got another right back joining in a couple of years' time as well. It's nice to have someone that's mentally this well-rounded, who will develop physically, I do think, as well, is going to, feature first-team football coming in. Mark's one of those ones that Freeman's doing unbelievably well. We'll leave Freeman there. Mark will get his game time, overtime this year, and look to push first-team football in the future, because I do think he will be the better of the 2 right-backs that we have. Simon, yet again, he was down the model that we're going down, that anyone from Scandinavia that could come in at 16, that's 5-star potential is coming in, because they can play on the 19s football for a few years and become homegrown, and if one of them develops, not a problem. Tom Maloney's another one. He looks fantastic. He doesn't look as good as a player that I have signed, that I will show you. But Tom Maloney looks fantastic because he just looks mentally a monster. He's mentally unbelievable. Technically, he's got really good technicals at 18, and he's a bit more of a creative player. He's the sort of guy that off the bench, you need to change a game, bang, this is the guy. Saves me using someone like Andreas Danielson who's not ready, and I think he's going to be really good. Before I forget, we are going to put him on his quickness training because I think that is really important. So, we then have an attacking midfielder called Trone Espen Alarpen. And what I like about him is his mentals are out of this world. Like 80 determination, good flair, great off the ball, aggression, bravery, good work rate, can pass the ball. If anything, he lacks technically. He's decently quick. This is the sort of guy you let play in the under 19s and develop. And if he does develop, then put him in exactly what he needs to do as well. All right. Murat is another one of these Turkish guys that we brought in that was from a Scandinavian club. Yet again, he could be a really good ball-winning midfielder. We'll maybe give you the option down the line to be a 4-1-2-1-2 diamond if we don't find proper wingers, which we have. But not too bad as well. We then get Ricardo, who is a Filipino right back, and another one of the two. I think he's incredible. I really do. I feel like this guy could be the guy as well. Promising fullback. Needs to do some work on his marking and that. But I think this guy here could be a really good player. I'm going to move him to the senior squad, but make him available for the 19s. Out of all of them, I think he's the rawest. But the fact that he's a Filipino right back made me pick him up because, I've got someone from the Philippines. Unbelievable. I do have a Chinese Taipei striker coming in. Unbelievable. I want to go and pick them all up. I have a couple of Thailandese regens. I want those sort of people. Aranat as well is a Thailandese lad that with a little bit of potential that we picked up. We did have 5-star when we scouted him. As well. And then we got Nico, who also could play ball-winning midfielder, which I think is important to get people in all sorts of areas, and has 5-star potential yet again from a Scandinavian team. We then have lucky last Ollie. Ollie is, well, not lucky last, second to last. Promising midfielder, looks fantastic. Like, this kid could be really good. Depends on how he develops. Yet again, though, since in the 19s, and all these 16-year-olds with that sort of potential, you just let them grow and see how they develop. But lucky last, his name is Destiny. I think he was destined to come here. The Nigerian-American is an outstanding winger on attack. He's quick, he's flary, got great off the ball, he can dribble, but most important, ladies and gentlemen, he can take a free kick. And we have lacked that big time. I am putting all my hopes on staying up on Destiny Adenini. We're going to name him just Destiny because it sounds much better. And I think he's destined to keep us in the Bundesliga too, and we can build around him because I think this guy is going to become world class. Not just Bundesliga 2 starter. I reckon this guy will get in, develop monsterly well, and will become world class as a winger. That is correct. I honestly see all those stats apart from the anticipation. Probably get into 15, and that is world class. In terms of players that we're also bringing in that you guys don't know, I know a lot of these guys here, but the new ones are Martin, he's French-American with 5-star potential because he's French, why not? Wayne Shackleton is going to be the best one out the lot. 16 years of age, have a look at him, mentally unbelievable, physically unbelievable, technically not bad, and I think he's fantastic. We then have obviously Chen, who's the Chinese Taipei striker as well. We'll recap them when all they come in. This guy's not joining for another couple of years. Same with Shackleton's not joining for free till he turns 18 or 2.5. Just physically a monster. When this guy's 18, he's going to be unreal. And then the lucky last one is Tim, because Tim is just a natural finisher. He's going to be here in 6 months, which is fantastic. Just physically a monster. Physically going to be a quick little pacey monster. He's got good finishing, dribbling, and is decently brave, decent determination. I just look at him and go, this guy off the bench, you need a goal, see you later, put him on. Develops into a worldie of a player, sure, why not? Anyhow, those are your boys that are coming in. Those are the boys that already have come in. And do you like the idea of me being here, not signing too many, and just saying this is your 25, there's a lot of good kids here, give them game time, and hopefully they will develop, because I think it is, and so does the Twitch chat as well. Welcome YouTube, Post-Com Damo, episode 10. It's been a little while. We probably haven't seen too much of what's been going on in the league here with 1860 Munich, and that is where we're going to start, just the league. because it is the thing that we need most recapping. We were predicted, as you guys know, to finish dead bottom here in the league and not be good enough to stay up. We still haven't been fantastic. I'm not going to say that we've been fantastic, but what we've done, we've found ways to win games of football, and that leaves us in 12th at the minute with one of the worst goal differences in the league, I will say that. But we're on 31 points. Historically, 4 more points will keep me up. They say 35 points is about the margin. Last season, you needed 39 points to make it into that playoff to stay in the division or not. So 35 could be enough. It looks like it may be enough this season, but at the same stage, probably getting to 38 would be enough to stay up. And there is definitely the possibility that we go on a run where we concede a lot of goals and just lose a lot of games. You guys will know that you've seen all that we've lost our first 5 games or so. We beat a couple of the Bundesliga sides. We then went on a run where against the weaker teams in the comp, we didn't lose for a while, and the 4-2-4 was fantastic, as you can see there. 3 wins, 3 draws, 4 draws, 3 draws, 4 draws, 4 draws. Before we then went on a run to go into the Christmas period in November, where we were in second to last in the relegation zone, needing to change our ways when the league came back in January. Did not happen. We got pumped. And then the 4-2-4 came to fruition again when we won games and we lost games. What has been happening in the 4-2-4 is we have games where we're not great, but Mitchell or JS start scoring, and we'll talk about players individually in a bit more in a second, and then they score every chance they have, we win, right? Or we don't play well, we get pumped because the teams are so much better than us. Darmstadt, prime example, right? We lose 4-0 here, and we can play good football in the 4-2-4, and we can go at teams. Our problem is when our strikers don't put chances away, we leave ourselves exposed, and the opposition puts chances away against us. Like, it is pretty brutal. Like, as you can see in Darmstadt, they're a good side, former Bundesliga side, right? Had 11 shots, 6 on target, a .82 expected goal ratio, and we lost the game 4-0. You would say that if we had more quality in the squad and players that finished a bit more clinically, we have 58% possession, we've had an expected goal ratio of 1.36, 13 chances, 5 on target, and you're just saying, well, this game here probably could deserve a bit of 2-2, or, we deserved to score a bit. I even subbed my keeper off. It was, ridiculously ridiculous. So, when that happened, it was the point of, we're ahead of everyone around us because they're losing. If I go back to the table, my mouse is being an absolute mare this morning where it won't let me click on anything. As you can see, we are ahead of where we need to be, but we have the potential to lose to Dresden. That Rostock game is so important. SVS is so important as well. We win against Rostock and SVS, I think we stay up. If we lose every game for the rest of the season, which is definitely a possibility, because, as SPVGG got relegated last season, Hanover, Schalke, St. Pauli, and Werder Bremen, that is a horrid run home. You can see how we lost every game we're heading into the mid-season break. That could happen, and we could find ourselves in a position where we got the points on the board now, but we could not have enough points, stay on 31 points, maybe even 34 points won't be enough, and we do go down. I do think because Braunschweig and AU are having such a poor year, it'd be more that Rostock go on a run next minute. We find ourselves in that playoff spot with 31 points, 34 points. And I do think there's more likely that we're staying up. So that's probably why the league, we haven't talked too much about it, is I just feel like more times than not we stay up unless we go on a massive losing streak, which could happen in the 4-2-4. Hence why we've actually changed our system the last 2 games, and I'll recap that a bit more. It's the Palermo Diamond, but we switched it into a 4-3-3. We're training Jay Hess at the minute, who's one of 2 players that has Bundesliga potential, ladies and gentlemen. He's been growing sensationally. He hasn't been playing well up front, but we're training him as an inside forward on attack, and he scored on his debut in that role last game out. Absolute banger as well. We'll show you that. He scored a couple now, JS. He started to come to his own, but the 4-3-3, what it allows me to do is just be more defensively solid. Patrick, who you've seen in this episode, for me, he's going to be the guy that is probably going to be the ball-winning midfielder on defending this system. Let him sit in there, ball-winning midfielder on support, let him just win the ball back, move the ball back, off you go. I just feel like Patrick's going to be so good in that role that it's going to be ridiculous. He could also probably play box-to-box in this role. He's the sort of guy that, in a few years' time when he joins, could fit this system really, really well. We've got players that can play it, and the system, what it allows me to do is just be that little bit more defensively minded while still being aggressive with the fullbacks and overlapping, which we don't have the greatest fullbacks, but Annie Barber is absolutely loving it out there. He is wanted at the moment by a couple of Bundesliga clubs. But the 4-3-3 just allows me to be more defensively solid. Jeppe Hansen plays a ball-winning midfielder until the end of the season because that's the role we signed him in on his when his promise that he would play there, it's essentially been a ball in midfield. He would go box to box, and we'd probably bring Maloney in as an advanced playmaker on attack, or a Mazzara on attack, something like that. I don't know, or even move Yepi into the Mazzara on support role, and just get him doing whatever he needs to do. See my mouse, it's just really annoying me, because I do think there is a world where Yepi could be a Mazzara on support. Definitely do. I see it that he's very hard working and he's got good mentors. He's the sort of guy that can do it all. So yeah, like the fact Bayern wants him shows you how good he is. But yeah, we've moved into this system. And since moving into that system, we played against Ingolstadt on stream last night. We won 1-0, and I've had to get a COVID test today because I'm not feeling 100% well, hence why I'm not at work, even though I've had such a busy time at work, been travelling left, right and centre. I've had the day off because of COVID, having a COVID test. I don't have COVID, we played the Kiel game before we went away to get our COVID test this morning, and we won that game 2-0. And this sums up where, if you look at the Darmstadt game, we played that game at the same time as this. The Darmstadt game, because we play such aggressive 4-2-4 open system, we cop it, right? We cop it. We lose 4-0. We probably didn't deserve to lose 4-0. Do we deserve to win this game 2-0 against a team that's a lot better than us? No. But what we did do out there is we were clinical, but the 4-3-3 allowed us to control the middle of the park and be that little bit more defensively solid, which is really, really good. So we're going to stay up, in essence. We've had periods where we've played well and won games, and we've had periods where we've lost games heavily. What I think is, against the lower half of the table, the 4-2-4 will eke out enough chances to win games. Against the higher end of the table, the 4-2-4 gets pumped. In this 4-3-3, though, we're going to look just to be solid, get to that 36, 38 point gap mark, and know that's probably enough to keep us up this season, and the 4-3 allows us to do that. Lucky last, we've had players that have, Bundesliga potential. You've seen that Jay has one, Mitchell is the other. He's just been nutty at the minute, this boy up front. It's been great to have him. And Yepi obviously is the other as well. And Barber's starting to get there too. So all these guys are picking up from America because they're coming across and playing in such a high division in the American amateur division. Their rate of growth is insane, and the potential that they get because they're growing so much increases. So the PA grows up because PA does change depending on form and rate of development. So Mitchell and all that starting to become Bundesliga potential players. These are guys that we're building around. Hence why when we said that we're only going to keep the squad that we have now gone out and signed, we're not going to do too much scouting because we're focusing on this squad. There's a lot of guys that could just become Bundesliga potential players and be here for a very long time. We are excited for the rest of the save and, of course, Youth Intake, which is coming up next episode. Please give it a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and, of course, we will recap next episode, Youth Intake, do we stay up, which I think we will, and, of course, then look forward to the third season, our second year here in the second Bundesliga, unless we get relegated and we keep our job and we look at League 3. But we'll wait and we'll see. From Damo and everybody else, I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye from episode 10.